Cause this is so weird. Like, I don't know why today is like taking me like back to like, I don't know.
He attempted to have me unalived because of him making a pass at me. It wasn't the pass that frustrated me the most. What made me most frustrated was the fact that he tried to unalive me after.
Cardi B is spiraling right now. Why? Because JT just dropped a wild tape. A gay tape featuring Stefon Diggs and Chris Griffith, and she dropped it only hours before Chris went public with his own shocking claims. Chris sat down in an interview and said Diggs straight up touched himself right in front of him while whispering nasty things he wanted to do to him.
So he pulls his thing out and just starts doing his thing and he said, man, come to my room. And he put his, put his tongue in my ear, like doing some weird.
Can you even believe it? Now Cardi is denying every bit of this, but instead of chilling, she's been firing off shade nonstop on socials. JT though, she's not flinching. She's teasing that she's holding even more receipts that could blow Cardi's entire world apart. This isn't just a petty squabble. This is war with receipts locked and loaded.
He said, I want justice for them babies. Your man make you abort every time. Ask what he told me about how he felt when he wanted to see Brit in that courtroom and she didn't show up. Or do I need to play the audio? And she didn't stop there. Cardi let JT know she had plenty more to expose, saying, I got receipts for days, nasty ones. I even got...
And here's the thing. This feud didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It all traces back to an earlier bombshell interview Chris Griffith gave months ago with Tasha K. In that sit-down, Chris claimed Stefon Diggs made a bold move on him, a straight-up pass. And when Chris rejected him, Diggs allegedly tried to silence him for good.
Calling Cardi, this rat supposed to be a mother brim and she is threatening to snitch. That is a loser, and she didn't stop there.
Chris said, it wasn't the past that frustrated me. What frustrated me the most was he tried to unlive me after it. Chris went further. He painted the moment like something out of a thriller. He described Diggs' pupils going jet black, his energy surging out of nowhere, and then Diggs whipping it out and even licking his ear. That's beyond scandalous. That's nightmare fuel dressed up as receipts. The story was already insane back then, but JT just dragged it back into the spotlight with a move so savage it shook the whole internet. The second she dropped that clip, timelines went into full meltdown. Chaos everywhere. JT didn't play coy or hint around. She came swinging straight at Cardi by name, making it crystal clear this wasn't just messy shade, it was personal war. Her tweet read, Cardi B's baby father is a gay man. Justice for Chris. I stand with the gays. That one tweet was enough to flip a private allegation into a headline-level scandal overnight. JT wasn't just aiming at Diggs anymore. She wanted Cardi embarrassed in front of the entire world, and she got it. But she wasn't done. JT doubled down like she was on a mission. She posted the entire Tasha K interview, receipts and all, adding, this is nuts and sad. Men should be protected. I feel like this isn't being taken seriously enough. With that, the floodgates burst wide open. Social media exploded. Quotes, memes, duets, you name it. Suddenly, this wasn't just gossip. It was a full-blown culture clash. Fans split into camps instantly. Some hailed JT as a hero for standing tall with the LGBTQ plus community, saying she gave Chris a voice when others tried to bury it. Others, though, weren't buying the act. They accused JT of weaponizing Chris's story just to drag Cardi through the mud. One fan even clapped back with, if it was truly about justice for Chris, the first sentence would not start with Cardi B, using his story to go at your op, yet saying, you are for the gays is cringe. That one comment hit hard, and it lit up the debate even more. Was JT really fighting for justice or just out to humiliate Cardi on the biggest stage possible? Some folks couldn't stop laughing. They turned the whole mess into jokes, dropping memes left and right. People even started calling Stefon Diggs the Diddy of the sports industry, and that comparison alone sent social media into a frenzy. At that point, it was clear this wasn't just about Chris anymore. The feud had morphed into a full-blown Cardi versus JT showdown, and everyone was watching. And let's be real, Cardi was never about to stay quiet when it came to her man. Just days ago, she was telling fans that Diggs made her feel safe. So now that his name was being dragged, she had no choice but to clap back. Cardi jumped on X, heated beyond belief, and fired off a post that she later deleted. Chris lied because he was stealing and got caught. There are receipts for that. He lied on Javonna Davis too, and changed the story 1,000 times. Chris wasn't a victim. He was just clout chasing, making up stories to get attention or gain something out of all this. But Cardi wasn't satisfied with just defending Diggs. She turned her fire directly on JT and went below the belt. She dragged personal baggage into the spotlight, abortions, courtroom drama, messy secrets, all of it. In one brutal line, Cardi wrote, "I want justice for them babies. Your man make you abort every time. Ask what he told me about how he felt when he wanted to see Brit in that courtroom and she didn't show up. Or do I need to play the audio?" That wasn't just shade. That was a bomb being dropped in public. Cardi wasn't just fighting. She was aiming to completely break JT's image in front of millions. And Cardi wasn't finished. She made it loud and clear that she had way more ammo locked and loaded, telling JT, "I got receipts for days. Nasty ones I even got." That wasn't just about clearing Diggs' name anymore. That was a flat-out warning. Cardi was basically saying, "Keep pushing me and I'll drag you through the mud so bad you won't recover." But JT, she was never the type to fold under pressure, especially not when someone came at her with threats. So she jumped on Snapchat and snapped back with pure venom, calling Cardi, "This rat. Supposed to be a mother brim and she's threatening to snitch. That is a loser." She made it clear she saw Cardi as fake and wasn't scared to say it. And she kept swinging. When a fan, clearly siding with Cardi, came at her man, Lil Uzi, and posted, "Your man, you got bigger fish to fry," JT clapped back without missing a beat. She fired off, "Yes, my man does this, mind his business, works hard, takes care of his family, inspired his generation, and doesn't snatch up. We are talking about Chris. Right now, focus." That line was pure heat. JT was making sure the focus stayed on Chris and not Uzi. By then, it was obvious. JT wasn't just defending herself. She was ready to drag anybody who tried to derail Chris's story. And just when fans thought it couldn't get messier, JT took it one step further, threatening to get the law involved. She warned that if Cardi kept spreading fake tea, she'd call the police and hit her with a defamation case. The internet went wild. Fans split down the middle. Some blasted JT, saying she was the last person who should be calling out anybody's man for being gay, while others cheered her for standing her ground against Cardi's non-stop threats. This wasn't just beef anymore. It was turning into an all-out war with no rules. Plenty of fans were rallying behind Cardi, hyping her up and telling her to keep swinging. But then there was a whole other crowd that refused to pick sides. Instead, they just sat back and clowned both of them like it was free entertainment. One person joked, "They really fighting about whose man gayer." Another fan summed up the entire circus perfectly, posting, "That's the kind of post that'll have the whole internet in chaos." And they weren't lying. The timelines were split down the middle, one side screaming, "Expose him," while the other side demanded, "Where's the proof?" Everybody wanted receipts, not just words. Fans kept saying, "If you're gonna say Chris said it out his mouth, you better come with audio." That's what made the tension unbearable. JT's post felt less like a statement and more like a promise that she was holding something back. Maybe even bombshell evidence. That's why the whispers are getting louder now. Insiders are claiming there could actually be a gay tape of Chris and Diggs, and fans are glued to their phones waiting for the next update like it's the finale of a TV show. The possibility of that tape is exactly why so many people think Cardi is straight up panicking right now, because if it drops, her whole defense crumbles instantly. And let's be real, this scandal wouldn't even be shaking Cardi this hard if Diggs didn't already have a messy past trailing behind him. Remember, he's still tangled up in that lawsuit from Lord Giselle, who swears Diggs is the father of her 5-month-old baby. That case is still hanging in the air, and now this new drama is making his name even messier. And just when you think it couldn't get crazier, there's even more heat waiting for him. TMZ even jumped in and stirred the pot by dropping footage of Diggs leaving a hospital, carrying a car seat right after that baby was born. Sure, reports claim he asked for a paternity test, but fans weren't buying the doubt. Their reaction was simple. Why would you show up at the hospital like that if you're not sure it's your baby? The video alone had people convinced. And that's not even the end of his messy receipts. Remember the Yo Eat incident? The viral clip where Diggs was spotted surrounded by 3 bikini-clad women allegedly handling a white substance? That clip went everywhere, and it got so loud that Patriots coach Mike Vrabel had to speak on it during a press conference. He said the team was aware and dropped a reminder to all players to make great decisions on and off the field. Translation: Diggs had them scrambling for damage control. Now fast forward to today, and when you stack this brand new scandal on top of all that baggage, Diggs starts looking like the poster child for reckless headlines. And poor Cardi, she's starting to look like the woman defending the undefendable, a ride or die stuck in a storm of receipts she can't clean up. But then Cardi added fuel to the fire in her own way with her music. She dropped her album, Am I the Drama, and fans swear one track, Magnet, is a straight up diss aimed right at JT. The lyrics had people gagging. All that riding still ain't getting no feature. She just mad she gotta share bags with. I talk about, I'm grateful, I don't care, mess some, got a clown on the neck, kick your friend, wash it down, you around. The second fans heard those bars, they connected the dots instantly. One even tweeted, when I heard the mad cause you gotta share bags with, I said, oh, this kept the back and forth alive and made JT go even harder online. Cardi's pen was cutting deep, and JT wasn't about to let it slide. JT made sure everyone knew she wasn't backing down, flexing that she still had more dirt to drop. But just as the fire got hotter, the spotlight suddenly swung back to Cardi, and this time, the pressure was on her shoulders. Cardi isn't just another rapper caught up in beef. She's a whole brand, a businesswoman, a mother, and now, pregnant with Diggs' baby. That means every move she makes, every word she tweets, and every clap back she throws isn't just drama. It's tied to her career, her endorsements, and her future. And standing by Diggs this hard could backfire in the ugliest way possible if Chris's claims ever get backed up with solid proof. That's why this moment is so dangerous for her. In today's culture, all it takes is one viral clip, one damning receipt, to take somebody from untouchable superstar to completely canceled overnight. We've seen it happen in hip-hop already. Just look at how Diddy went from mogul to headline scandal. Now it's looking like the sports world might be about to get its own version, with Diggs standing in the hot seat. And here's the twist. Diggs isn't just battling JT or Chris anymore. He's going head-to-head with an entire culture that lives off receipts and thrives on takedowns. One wrong move, and it's not just his career on the line, it could drag Cardi down with him too. And just when fans thought this saga couldn't get any messier, whispers started flying that more receipts were already in circulation. Receipts too wild to keep hidden. Blogs began teasing that private DMs, unseen videos, and behind-the-scenes messages might exist, linking Diggs to things nobody saw coming. Suddenly, everybody was refreshing their feeds, waiting for the next bomb to drop. Insiders claim JT's people are holding back because they know the next release could destroy Cardi's image completely. The talk? That tape Chris hinted at isn't just a rumor. It might actually exist. And if it surfaces, it won't just be embarrassing. It could change the way people look at Diggs forever. Fans are already saying this feels like the same type of downfall that's haunted celebrities before. Once the floodgates open, there's no coming back. Meanwhile, Cardi's team is reportedly scrambling behind the scenes, trying to keep the story contained and redirect attention to her album rollout. But no matter how many flashy posts or music drops she throws at the timeline, the public isn't letting go of the scandal. Every new lyric, every clapback, every post gets dissected for clues about what she really knows. And here's where it gets crazier. Fans are already drawing comparisons, calling this a Diddy-level meltdown in the making, except this time it's not a mogul, but a football star and one of the biggest rappers in the game caught in the blast radius. The stakes are sky high now, because if JT proves she's holding the ultimate card, this won't just be gossip. It'll be the kind of scandal that rewrites careers overnight. But while Cardi and JT kept trading shots, fans started digging deeper, and what they uncovered only made things darker. Old whispers about Diggs resurfaced, rumors people thought were buried, and suddenly his name was being tied to way more than just messy relationships. One thread that blew up claimed Diggs had a pattern, jumping from one scandal to another, each one worse than the last. Some fans pointed out that the lawsuit with Lord Giselle wasn't even the first time someone accused him of hiding a child. Screenshots began circulating, suggesting there were past flings who hinted at the same thing. But those stories got swept under the rug when his career started heating up. And then came the wildest claim yet, that Diggs had been paying people off to stay quiet. Fans argued it lined up perfectly. The sudden disappearances of women who once posted about him, the vanishing tweets, the deleted IG stories. Was Diggs silencing people behind the scenes? It didn't take long before comparisons to Diddy came roaring back, with fans dubbing him Sports Diddy all over again. Meanwhile, Cardi looked more cornered than ever. Every time she tried to defend Diggs, more stories bubbled up, making her look like she was standing by a sinking ship. To outsiders, it wasn't loyalty anymore. It looked like desperation. And that shift had fans whispering that Cardi might be risking everything, her brand, her music, and even her family's name, all to shield a man the internet was already labeling as guilty. And now it's bigger than just beef. We're talking leaks, courtrooms, and careers on the line. The question hanging in the air isn't only whether that gay tape really exists. It's whether Cardi can even survive standing by Diggs while the entire internet seems ready to watch him crash and burn. The world is watching in real time as this story snowballs into something way more explosive than anyone expected. Fans are asking, will JT actually pull the trigger and drop the ultimate receipt? Or is this just a dangerous game of bluff that could backfire on everyone involved? Either way, if the tape drops, it won't just stain Diggs, it could drag Cardi's whole empire down with him. So now we gotta ask you, are you Team JT or Team Cardi? And do you believe the tape between Chris and Diggs is the real deal waiting to leak? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this debate is only getting hotter. And don't forget, subscribe to Juicy Reel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next bombshell we uncover.